Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is JC, and what I'm bringing you all today is like an in-depth .king 7.2.5 Affliction Warlock guide. Right now, Affliction Warlock is just extremely versatile. We're extremely powerful. We do great on multi-target. We do extremely well on single target. Right now, we are just, in my opinion, an overpowered class. Even after our so-called nerf, where they took, Malefic Grasp down from like 75 to 25, we're still extremely strong. So what I want to do for you guys is I want to go over your stat breakdowns. I want to go over the talents. We're going to go over everything. That way you can be the best warlock that you can be. Me personally, I don't like destruction at all. I mean, I've played with it. I've toyed with it. I don't know. I don't like destruction. I just don't like destruction. I've liked affliction for the longest time, and that's what I'm sticking with. And it's freaking amazing. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to go over our talents. So right now, the way I'm set up, this is your typical Mythic Plus, just everything. Like, this is the easy mode build. I do change my talents around for a few fights, and I'll explain that, but this build right here is just the absolute, just easy mode. So you have your Haunt. You'll never use Haunt. I've never used Haunt. I've never seen anybody use Haunt. So Haunt is just out of the question. So your two tiers that you want to choose between, you either have Writhe and Agony or you have Malefic Grasp. Single target, you're going to go Malefic Grasp all the way. Even in Mythic Plus, Malefic Grasp is still the go-to. Agony, being able to ramp up to 15 stacks is great for like Demonic Inquisition, when you have two bosses up for an extended period of time. But in Mythic Plus, the mobs aren't alive long enough for this to actually take place, so Malefic Grasp will always just overcome it, in my opinion, besides a few very specific encounters. Like I said, Demonic Inquisition, that's when it's really nice. Other than that, Malefic Grasp is definitely your go-to. Contagion, or Absolute Corruption, I've never seen anybody use Empower Life Tap. I mean, maybe it's great for that, constant 10% increased damage, but I go with Contagion, however you want to say it. The 15% increased damage to targets affected by your unstable affliction, even if you're running the Writhe and Agony build and you're just being a king, it is so easy. It is so easy to keep your unstable affliction on multiple targets. It's unreal. I mean, you have to learn how to control your soul shards and when to spend them, when to not spend them. Once you get the 4-piece, I'm sorry, the 2-piece, really, it's insane. We'll go over gear in a minute. It's insane. Soul shard regeneration is amazing, especially with Soul Conduit, but in my opinion, Contagion is the way to go. If you're doing a high Mythic Plus, to where you're just like AoE pulling, there's lots of mobs, and it's like too hard for you to be able to keep unstable affliction on all of the targets, Absolute Corruption is amazing whenever you run it with Sow the Seeds. That way you're just popping corruption on everything, and it's just amazing that way. But I would still, Contagion is definitely the way to go. Your 45 talents, your tier 3, this is just pure, in my opinion, this is just pure like mobility type crap. Demonic Circle is definitely going to be your go-to. It's an instant cast. It's super handy, especially with like sisters. You just jump back and forth. I mean, that's just the way to go. Your 60 talents. All right, so Phantom Singularity. This thing does amazing AoE damage on a 40-second cooldown. Sow the Seeds is good for Mythic Plus, kind of, sort of. I have found that Phantom Singularity definitely pulls ahead in my situations. I mean, even single target, I like using Phantom Singularity, especially with, most fights in TOS have ads that spawn, and saving this cooldown for when those ads spawn, just to burn those ads down quick, is super nice. Keeps you on top of the damage meters, keeps you just flowing, and it's great. Plus, it heals you for 20% of the damage done. Helps out the healers. Of course, with an Affliction Warlock, the healers really don't have to heal us too much. We've got our lot candies. We've got our Drain Soul going 90% of the time, so it's great. The extra healing, it doesn't hurt, but the damage is just freaking, it's amazing. It deals a million damage to everyone that it hits. in a little area within 15 yards over 13 seconds. Hey man, that's great damage. 75. I've never seen anybody run Dark Pact, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. It's just gives you extra health. I mean, like I said, you're constantly healing. So, in my opinion, this is more of like a PvP talent. I use Burning Rush, of course. That way I can just keep my speed up. It's super, super handy. I've got a little weak order to let me know that it's going on. But, I don't know. Burning Rush just seems to be the go-to. Demon Skin, if you're, like, going solo or if you're, like, world questing or whatever you may need. But, that bitch. But anyway, so, yeah, I mean, Demon Skin, stick with Burning Rush. You're definitely going to want a Grimoire of Supremacy. That way you can get this big, beastly monster with you. He's definitely your single target go-to. I even use him for multi-target. I don't ever use my Infernal. It's not on my bars whatsoever because I don't ever use him. I mean, I use this guy. He's my go-to guy. And then Soul Conduit for sure. Siphon Life does not do enough damage in my opinion. It's just Soul Conduit is definitely the way to go. Having that because you're non-stop spamming your Unstable Afflictions. You want to keep it on the target at all times. So 1 of 5 chance to get that Soul Shard back. It's a no-brainer. It's definitely a no-brainer. Death's Embrace is great, but hopefully I'll get the Legendary Ring. That way I'll unlock them both. So going over to your gear and your stat priorities. All right, so you're going to want Mastery. At all times, you're going to want to have as much Mastery as you possibly can. You don't want to be below 100%. You don't want to get too crazy with it and go like 130%. Chances are, if you're that high, you're lacking significantly in somewhere else. So Mastery is always going to be your number one. Then it's going to be Haste. Then it's going to be Crit. Then it's going to be Versatility. Now, I strongly recommend you use a third-party program called SimCraft. I sim my characters. Every time I get a new piece of gear, I'll sim my tune. It'll tell you your DPS margins, your errors. SimCraft is like the amazing. It's amazing because in all reality, your stat priorities are always changing. Like they're always changing. I mean, Pawn is great to use with SimCraft. That's what tells me my percent upgrades in there. But of course, you see Rashtar. I use my own stat weights. I strongly recommend you do it as well. I'll leave a link in the description for Simulation Craft if you absolutely need it, which I recommend you do. But so as of right now, the only reason why my haste is so low is because I do have the 4-piece, which spending a Soul Shard has a 1 in 4 chance to grant you an extra 15% haste for 8 seconds, which it is non-stop proccing to me because I gained so many Soul Shards from the 2-piece, which is where they at? Where's it at? Corruption also has a chance to generate a Soul Shard on top of Agony, on top of my Soul Conduit. I mean, I feel like I'm never Soul Shard deprived as much as I used to be. If you don't have the 4-piece, then I would recommend you keeping your Mastery between 105 and 110%, keeping your haste, just throwing numbers here, just keep it around between 23-26%. Your critical strike does not matter due to what talent is it? Right here you've got an extra 8% chance, and I think that's just critical strike damage. So right here you have it with winnowing. Whenever you're reaping souls, which you want to reap souls as much as you possibly can, it gives you an extra 8% chance to crit. So I've got 16.65% chance to crit. Plus, when I reap souls, I've got 8. So that's a 24% chance to crit. And then this right here goes to 16. So, I mean, that's over 30% chance to crit with my Unstable Affliction. So, you really don't need to get up to like 25% crit. There's no point. Because once you're reaping souls, you are going to be non-stop critting. It's insane. Especially with, I don't know why I keep closing that. Especially with this talent right here. You're non-stop drain souling, so you get a lot of soul shards. You really don't need to there's no reason to get a bunch of crit because it's all covered by your artifact ability. What the hell is it even called? Utalash, the Tormented Souls. So this is pretty much the stat priority you want to go to. Trinket wise, I'm using Kill Jaden's because I just haven't gotten a second legendary worth using. Right now I'm using the Ferritory of Souls, and then, which is a freaking a demo legendary. I've been extremely unlucky with legendaries. But Kill Jaden's, it's awesome. I mean, it's a million damage, 1.1 million damage, guaranteed crit. It's great for freaking trash. It just blasts out everything. I really want the ring though. That's for dang sure. But so moving on from gear. This is the gear setup you want to kind of go. Enchants, of course I go straight for straight up mastery, 600% mastery. As you can see, I have a haste gem in here because right now with my current stat priority, let's go to my weights for Rashtar. Right now haste is more than my mastery because I've got 110% mastery, just under 111%. So like I said, Simcraft, haste is more important for me right now. You see crit is at the very, very bottom. So yeah, I mean that's Simulation Craft. As you can see, the stat weights are always changing. If you go to Affliction, this is the Icy Veins Affliction guide, stat weights wise. As you can see, it's mastery, haste, crit, versatility, intellect. You really ain't got to worry about. And then you go to mine, it just changes around a little bit. Like I said, because as you get gear, your stat weights differ, and that's just basically how that goes. So, with that being said, we've covered our gear, we've covered our talents. Now, what I strongly recommend, I tell this to everybody, I strongly recommend getting a different UI. LVUI is extremely great. You don't necessarily have to, but to me, it makes everything better. It makes it cleaner. It makes everything easier to read. And then I strongly recommend you getting weak auras. Before I started playing with weak auras, I was garbage. And I'm not even that great at weak auras yet, but I've created myself some nice weak auras that really, if it'll load, there we go, that really helped me. So, I mean, I've got my standard, this weak aura right here is my fixate. When anything fixates on me, it pops up, it flashes, it lets me know that, hey, you've got weak aura, or you've got something fixated on you. You either need to run or just pay attention. Quaking, I just have this for this week's fixes. It's quaking and some other crap. I don't know, teaming and quaking. So this right here, I've got this set up. This is my harvest. This lets me know how many souls that I can currently reap. It only will pop up on me whenever I actually have souls to reap, and I currently don't have the harvester buff. As you can see, my buffs are coming down here. I've got my harvester here, my concordance, my soul harvest whenever I'm running that build, my racial. This right here is my 4-piece set whenever I'm getting my haste buff, my potion, bloodlust. Now these two, this one and this one, is extremely important. You lose so much damage whenever you let your debuffs fall off of you. Now you'll notice I'll start attacking this guy. As you can see, it's showing that this is not here. So once I throw it, it goes away. I've got a soul on the ground that I could reap right now. I've got this lighting up. So it's super handy. It lets me know. Then I also have it counting down that it's letting me know that it's about to wear off. This guy, it's about to fall off. So that right there is super handy, especially if you're tab targeting like this. You can just sit here, go back and forth, and you can keep your buffs on both guys, and it's just so much easier to keep your buffs this way. I mean, you can have timers and everything like that. I feel that this is way easier, just to keep popping around like so. So let's get into the rotation, how you want to keep your spells, how you want to do this. So a lot of people just want to jump right up into reaping their souls. You actually you've got to be somewhat smart when you're reaping souls. Let's let this wear off. You really do. In fact, we'll come over here to the raid dummy. So you want to be smart when you're reaping souls, because reaping souls is our bread and butter. We get our most damage when we're actually reaping our souls. So to start the fight off, you're going to want a corruption, you're going to want your agony, Me personally, I throw my trinkets, I throw my Phantom Singularity, I pop my my racial, I get 3 unstable afflictions on them, I reap, and then I do 1 full drain cycle. As you can see, my buffs are wearing off. I redo it, I re-reap, and then I throw 3 more, and then it's my drain cycle. I'm going to drain cycle 1 more time, and then I'm going to cut it off as soon as, there we go. Every time I throw a corruption, I just go ahead and throw another agony on there. And then you drain. I mean, it's that simple. As you can see, like right now we're doing 850k DPS. I mean, I don't have no lust. I didn't pop my potion, you know what I mean? I'm not even like really trying hard. I'm just simply playing, and it's this easy to just maintain. As soon as it's about to drop, we throw it back on. Might as well just throw it. You don't necessarily have to, but I like to just throw it back on. Throw 2 more and go. As you can see, I could have thrown 3. We'll only throw 2. Do another drain cycle. Pop it. We'll go like this. As you can see, with the way the rotation is going right now, I still had like 7 seconds on my agony. And I mean, it's that simple. It is that simple. You will do amazing damage. Super easy, super fun. Now, leveling your artifact weapon, of course, I've already got, concordance and everything like that. But your go-to talents, once you get your talents, this is you're going to be, once you get your new Legion talents, of course, you're going to want to come through here, grab Ren's Soul, and then you're going to want to jump right into Inherently Unstable. You're going to want to then go right for Perdition. Those are the ones you want, like, right off the bat. Then, of course, you can, take Hideous Corruption, blah, blah, blah. But these two. Now, when it comes to relics, if you can get... So, Shadowy Incantations increases all the damage you deal by 5%. That right there is a best-in-slot relic to go for. Perdition is another one. You want to get as much Perdition as you possibly can. And then this one increases damage done by Agony by 20%. Personally, I think that I can get a better buff off of that, but I'm gonna take it. Agony does good damage. It's not my first or my second, or it's usually my second. What am I saying? So Agony is great, but Perdition and what is it called? Shadowy Incantations. Those are definitely your number one to go to, because that's just a straight damage bonus. And yeah, that kind of covers everything. I mean, I tried to make this video quick. Of course, it went longer than I wanted it to. So we've got we covered our talents, we covered our stat breakdown, we covered sort of our rotation, and there's really not much more to it when it comes to enchants. Just one enchant mastery, intellect, Mark of the Trained Soldier, I think it's called. Yeah, Mark of the Trained Soldier, and I mean, and that's pretty much it. Get yourself a good UI. Definitely get some weakauras. If you guys really want me to, I can post the weakauras in the description. It's really easy to set up, but I just got mine perfectly set up. I have my weakauras match my my raid frames. I mean, set up perfect. Oops, let's get rid of that. And we can go to LVUI. My raid frames. It's a very clean, minimalistic UI that it does everything for me. As you guys saw, I'm a clicker. I don't keybind anything, so this just really works well for me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. Do you have any questions that I didn't cover, be sure to leave a comment. I'll try and answer it the best I can. I'm not going to say that I'm the best warlock there is, but I'm definitely not the worst. I pull great damage, extremely great damage. And it's a really fun class to play. I do great in PvP. I do great in PvE. It's a super fun class. I encourage anybody who doesn't play a Warlock to at least give one a try. Super fun, super mobile. Like they have super mobile. I mean, we can jump around anywhere. I mean, I could throw my Demonic Circle. It's damn near it's an instant cast. I can come back, 30-second cooldown. I could throw my gateways wherever I want to throw them. It's kind of a long cast in my opinion, but I could just throw my gateways, hop around. It's such a fun class to play. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to rate the video, subscribe if you'd like to. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.